to learn about and celebrate creative approaches to healthcare, education, and wellness. Each week, we explore new ways that creativity can reach and connect individuals in all stages of health and wellness. Join us as our host, Bree Gordon, board-certified music therapist and managing partner with the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute, interviews professionals, volunteers, and community members from healthcare and educational backgrounds. If you are at home or near a computer, you can join us via live streaming video at facebook.com/connectionsbyaria. We hope you enjoy the program and find new ways to bring the joy of creativity into your life and the lives of those you love. Hello, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You are listening to and watching Connections. I'm your host, Bree Gordon, board-certified music therapist here locally in beautiful, sunny South Florida with the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute. I was away last week because I followed some of my own advice after weeks of preaching self-care, months and really a year and a half of preaching self-care, actually. I took some time off to enjoy a music festival. So we are lucky enough in West Palm Beach to have Sunfest, and I took full advantage. I went all 5 days. It was amazing. I saw everybody from Snoop Dogg to Steve Winwood and literally everything in between. So it was awesome. I'm so thankful to live in a great city that promotes live music on the water. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. But I missed being here. We did replay an awesome show with Nikki Treadway of Adventure Therapy Counseling, which was such a cool thing. Not only did she share about the work she does, but actually did a giveaway on that show for someone who is looking for a team building exercise for their team, a small assisted living owner looking for a creative way to bond her team, and we had follow up from that the team actually went through with it. So I love promoting that because I want you to know, those are a wonderful audience, supportive audience, listening and watching, that the goodness that goes on here that I'm lucky enough to be a part of, it gets to leave the studio as well, which it blows my mind. And it's all, again, because of the support of people like you. So thank you so much. If this is not your first time listening and watching, thank you for coming back. If it is your first time, I just want to give you a little idea of what you can expect. Again, I have the great honor, 1 hour a week, to share not only a little bit about what I do as a creative arts therapist, but also to celebrate and promote professionals, volunteers, and caregivers throughout the community who are utilizing creative, unique, outside-of-the-box ways to reach people, to comfort them, to connect with them. And, from nutrition, which we talked about a few weeks ago, to creative arts therapists, to those who are working with children, those who are working with seniors, and everything in between. So no matter where we fall on the health and wellness journey, my goal is to promote that a little bit of creativity goes a long way, and so hopefully you learn something over the next hour. I learn something every week. I want to learn from you. So as always, I encourage our audience to be a part of the show. If you want to call in at any point and join the conversation, our number here is 888-565-1470. You can join us if you're home, not driving, safely at a computer or on your phone, at our Facebook page, facebook.com/connectionsbyaria. And all of our shows are live video streaming there and are archived. So if you missed any previous programs, you can check out all past shows there as well. As I mentioned, we're only able to continue to connect with the community, to bring these resources to you all, the audience, because of the support. And we're looking for support at this time to continue doing that. So if anyone is interested in sponsoring Connections, being a part of this growth, being a part of this movement, and we have ad space available, I'd love you to contact me, Bree, BREE, @pbmti.com, both audio and digital ad space available, opportunities to come on the show and promote your services or products, and we'll do some social media promotion for you as well. I love my community partners. I hope everyone can see that, how excited I get to share about the good work everyone is doing, and I just can't wait to add more people to that family. So all that being said, I won't keep going on and on because I have another fabulous guest that I can't wait to introduce to you later today. Before that, I always like to tie in a theme. So I am a music therapist. I do work mostly with seniors with movement and memory disorders. So a lot of the work I do is thematic, to use the music and other, a multisensory approach to orient the individuals that I'm working with to the time of the year, the season we're in, what holidays are around us. So obviously this week, as you might assume, we're celebrating Mother's Day. So I've been asking my seniors throughout the week in a few different ways, in ways that are comfortable and encouraging for them. What are some ideas or words or qualities that come to mind when you think about being a good mother or a good mom or a good female role model, whatever that means to you? It could be an example that was set by a mother or grandmother in your life, or an aunt or a friend, qualities you see in your children as they parent your grandchildren that you admire, or qualities that you admired about yourself in your parenting and that maybe you also get to see passed down to the next generation. And I've had some really, really cool answers to that, really special answers and really special memories and emotions that have been shared by the clients. So we were actually able to turn that into a song. And we rewrote the song Love, Love. And instead of it being a romantic love, it was an admiration love for mom. So just some examples. Well, I'm going to pull from a couple different groups here, but L is for the love you gave to me. O is for the only mom I need. V is very, very gentle and caring. And E is everything that my mom does for me. I mean, really special lyrics. Each group member would contribute to what that love meant to them, means to them, and continues to mean to them as they parent and grandparent through their journey, which is really, really special. All that to say, and yes, you can steal that. I don't know that. Have fun with that. I want to hear. In fact, please do that. I want to hear what people come up with. That's actually a really fun idea. I'd love to hear that. It got me thinking, though. What are the qualities that I think about when I think about a mom, a grandma, a strong female role model? And one of the biggest things that comes to mind for me, what was modeled for me, and that I would hope that I'm able to pass on, during my journey to other generations, is this idea of ever moving forward, ever evolving, trying new things, saying yes. I grew up in an environment with two women. Those who listen to the show know that I talk about this a lot. Grew up with my mom, my grandma, were my parents, and we were kind of trading off times. We weren't always in the same room together because honestly, mom was maybe at a class at the local community college, furthering her skills in one area, or Graham was working late nights at the store and working the floor selling furniture and appliances, and we kind of traded on and off. Or mom was coaching. And so I got to see that action, that movement, that constant movement through growing up. And I still see it. I still see, my mom picking up new skills and making new friends and traveling to new places and taking new risks. And I see my grandma every day, even in her newest role as a great grandmother, still working, still making connections, still making, friends. It's really, really inspiring. And I realize that that's one of the biggest takeaways that I have from being raised in that environment, and that I want to pass on and to share and encourage other people, is that beauty in never stop learning, never stop enjoying life, never stop living. There are certain things we can't control. Physical limitations, financial limitations. These things happen. We can't always control them. But how we respond, been singing Que Sera, Sera a lot this week, if you can't tell. Whatever will be, will be. It's all about how we respond to these things. If we keep moving, if we keep bettering ourselves, there's a lot of beauty in that. And there's a lot of experiences that can be shared. This just fits in so well with my guest today, who I'm going to introduce in a few moments, because she is really an example of this that I see in our community, of ever growing, ever evolving, ever saying yes to life, which is so, so exciting. But in my last few moments, as is tradition on this show, I have a sing-along to share with you all today. And as we are coming up on Mother's Day, and as you can tell, I have nothing but incredible positive things to say about the women role models in my life, this is my Mother's Day gift to my mom. This is our song. we have a song. Do you have a song with your mom? I want to know that too. I'm all about hearing back from you guys. So I want to know if you have a song with your mom, with your grandma, what those special songs are. Because it really, nothing connects us with our memories, our emotions, quite like music. And when I hear this song, I can't help but think about my special bond with my mom. So happy Mother's Day. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get tough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled waters, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled waters. I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you ever need a friend, I'm sailing right behind, like a bridge over troubled waters. I will ease your mind like a bridge over troubled waters. I will ease your mind. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Love you. Stick around. After you come back, I'm going to introduce you to my amazing guest. Kandi Cohn is here in the studio with me tonight. We'll be right back after this quick break. Are you a music therapist or part of the music therapy community? If so, we're excited to announce Aria. Aria is a mobile app that provides tools, resources, and community for today's modern music therapist. You can plan, implement, and share music therapy interventions with the community, keep track of your schedule and contacts, and learn from other members in our community section. Best of all, Aria is free. Visit arianow.com to get started today. The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com, engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944. You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You are listening to and watching Connections. I'm your host, Bree Gordon, board-certified music therapist with the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute. And we're talking about mothers today. I was saying on the Facebook page earlier, it's hashtag Women Crush Wednesday. I think it is. I don't know. This is what the kids say. too old for this stuff. So anyways, hashtag Woman Crush Wednesday. This is no like surprise or coincidence that Connections is on Woman Crush Wednesday. I have so many incredible women on this show, and it's the best day to celebrate women, and the best week is Mother's Week, and we're thinking about all these amazing role models and all these incredible people in our community, in our lives, and our friends and our families. And I want to introduce you to a woman crush of mine in our community. I'm just going to say it. Who, as I said in the beginning, this quality that I really admire is this ever evolving, ever looking for the best in life, ever just looking to say yes in life, trying new things. And my guest today, Kandi Cohn, you embody that for me. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Bree.
My pleasure. You may recognize Kandi. She was one of my first guests, right? It was early. It was over a year ago.
Oh, yes.
That you were here. So, Kandi, you came on and you brought in with you Dr. Myra Levick, who was like, talk about another Woman Crush Wednesday.
Right.
Oh, my gosh. So awesome. She is in her mid-90s.
Yes.
Yep. One of the founders of Art Therapy Association, is still active. Talk about women that are still saying yes to life. She's getting her book translated in different languages so it can reach more people. She is awesome. So anyways, thank you for bringing her in and,
Sure.
introducing me to her, and she's such an inspiration.
Yes.
For me. And I'm so glad that you're back, because you have all new things to talk about, because in the last year of life, you're like, yep, that was a great lily pad of life. Had fun with that one. Where do I go from here? I love that. That's exactly what we're talking about today. So for anyone who didn't hear before, your background, if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about yourself and what's kind of led you to the work you do today.
Okay, sure. I'd love to do that. So I love that we're focusing on Mother's Day. I am a mother, and I'm fortunate enough that my mother is still alive. And my own parents really influenced my journey into my career today, which is helping seniors, helping people find senior living communities and home health care, as well as many other healthcare related issues that I love to deal with and help them with. And my journey, I guess what you said is true. I never say no. And I've learned, I've surprised myself when I've had to reach inside and find my inner strength.
Yeah.
And, until you're faced with a crisis, you don't know how strong you are.
Sure.
So I try to be that kind of role model for my children and for people, younger women like yourself. And I do love life. I love having new experiences and learning all the time. And I have women crushes, of course, too. And
it's a good place for that, yeah.
Yeah. And I find that as I get older, those women crushes are really more important, playing a bigger part in my life.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And how do you see, we're kind of jumping right into this topic of passing down these life lessons, or maybe inspirations, like you said, your path has been inspired by your parents. How do you see that play out with your children? Do you see, that kind of get passed out to the next generation, some of these lessons? It's like a legacy, really.
Yes, I definitely do. My own children have just grown so much. They're adults, 30 and 27, and they, I think, are, very persistent in anything they want to do, and they summon up the courage in the same way that I have had to, and I'm just amazed and proud of them. I think they're both in good careers and happy and working so hard. And I love seeing that.
That's awesome. And, I know one of the things that's very, it's your brand, it's your message, is this idea of empowering people. And so much of that we do get, passed down from role models. Some people, it might not necessarily be their parents, but whoever that is for them, that's really a role model that inspires them. But it's clear to see where you get, your inspiration from it, as well as your own journey that you've gone through and different challenges that, you face and overcome. But how did you come up with this idea of empowered aging advocate, and what exactly does that mean?
What I have found is in my own life in the past, I've always tried to lead a somewhat healthy life. I've always been very active and exercising. But in the past few years, I've kind of opened the doors. And I've heard so many times in the past that when you're open to it, the universe sends all kinds of things your way in abundance. And that is so true and has been happening for me. So as I've been experiencing all these things that have helped me, and I have developed great routines for myself, I want to try to help others to be empowered as they age rather than just letting aging happen to them. And I write a blog on my website about this, and I try to talk to people without, hitting them over the head with it, because not everybody's ready to make changes, but I love to just encourage them. And I've recently been elected president of Elder Services Resource Network. Thank you.
That's awesome.
And that's an organization in Broward County that helps seniors. We provide grants to not-for-profits that help seniors. And I'm hoping while I'm president that part of my whole stand can be to try to improve a healthy outlook for aging. So many things we take for granted, like even when we have an event that we might have junk food for people to eat. I don't want to do that. I want to encourage them to eat healthier and have fruits and vegetables.
That's such a good point. I did a presentation at a college yesterday, I guess it was, and someone was commenting on the food that was there, and it was healthy wraps and salads and things like that. And they're like, "Oh, this is so much better than so and so. I had pizza and soda." And well, it's a wellness, it's a wellness luncheon, and that's such a simple idea, but it means so much that when we're going to these luncheons, to these presentations, to these conferences to expand our mind and to grow in so many areas, and then what we're putting in our bodies is making us maybe sluggish, or the brain fog was a big thing that Jess and I talked about when we talked nutrition a couple weeks ago. So it's all connected,
right?
Like you're saying, and so if we can empower in all these different areas of life, that's where really that strength and motivation probably comes to just really embrace that healthy aging approach. And through your blog, I want you to share a little bit about how people can access that as well, but what do you find are the topics that people are most interested in learning, and what are some of the challenges that people have really opened up to you about?
Well, often, all of my senior elderly clients have challenges.
Sure.
So that's, I think some of the ones that have the best attitudes, they'll joke about it and they say aging ain't for sissies. That's a celebrity said that a long time ago, so I hear that one a lot. And it's true. I think just losing their independence is the biggest challenge overall. And of course, all the things that amount to that would be when it's their physical ailments make it so they maybe need a walker. They can't walk without one. They can't drive anymore. That's huge. When that happens.
That is huge.
Yes. And not being able to make decisions on their own, I think, is a really big challenge for people. They become the child, and their child becomes the parent if they're lucky enough to have adult children that are around and that care and can help them. And I know with my own mother, I have to be very, very careful how I help her with decisions. She knows she wants my help, but she wants to be treated in a way that she feels like she's part of making the decision.
Of course.
And that's sometimes hard,
Of course. So this idea of empowering, when you're empowering someone to make the decisions that they are able to make, that's so powerful. That's really excellent. I always feel very thankful in my work when through the music I'm able to kind of offer some control and choice making, because I do recognize that a lot of the clients we're working with have endured this great loss of independence, and I've lost control over when they take their meals or when they get out of bed and when they use the restroom and all these things that no one told them to do before, or where to go, when to do it. So I think there's so much value in that empowering to make your own choices when it's safe and it's appropriate. But I know that not only you're working with elderly clients, but also you want to empower baby boomers.
Right.
Like you said, not just let aging happen to you, but really be at the helm, of aging and how you approach it. What are some of the challenges or concerns that people, in their 50s and 60s kind of come to you and say maybe things that they're nervous about, or what do they express to you?
Oftentimes, money is a concern.
Sure.
We're all worried that we'll run out of money, and we want to stay healthy, but then we worry, well, if we stay really healthy and live too long, then we're going to run out of money.
Yeah.
So that's a big concern. So I, strongly recommend everybody really take a good look at their finances, have a financial advisor, meet with an elder law attorney, get your paperwork in order. I highly recommend buying long-term care insurance.
Mm-hmm.
When I have clients that have long-term care insurance, it's such a relief because that helps pay for assisted living and for private duty home health care.
I'm going to know a good one of those. People can ask me about that. Yeah, that's awesome. A really, really good advice. Just one more question before we cut to a commercial break, just on this topic. What are the different things through your journey? I know we talked about the influence your parents have had, but what are some experiences you've had professionally as you've met people and seen maybe the benefits of financial planning or of healthy living that's really empowered you to keep going and keep wanting to serve others?
I really love being around seniors, and certain ones really stand out. When I have an elderly client who, say, is 100 or close to 100 years old, and they have a great attitude and energy, I always ask them, what's your secret? Mm-hmm. And invariably, it has to do with attitude and staying active, both mentally and physically.
For sure.
I think that is the key to everything. Being active physically helps your brain. It helps you to avoid Alzheimer's if possible, not completely, because a lot of that's genetic and they're still figuring it out. But so I highly recommend staying active in some way, shape, or form, and keeping your mind going in whatever ways you enjoy or can do, maybe reading, doing crossword puzzles, and socializing. Just having stimulating conversations with people. So you shouldn't be isolated as you age, and that is a big challenge for people.
Absolutely, and I think we're at such a benefit living in the area that we're in, that there are so many opportunities for that. I think there are a lot of small towns where there might not be the, senior center on every corner. I went to the Boynton Beach Senior Center last week. That place is hopping. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to hang out there. They've got, pool tournaments going on and sing-along here and dance class. It's so cool.
Right.
And it was early in the morning. And everybody was there ready to go and with their friends and talking. It was really cool. So, there are resources around. Even if you're not in South Florida and you are in a smaller area, look for those resources. A simple, Google search can certainly tell you about that, or connect with your local areas of aging, and some of these individuals like Kandi and myself that volunteer in the community to be a resource. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about this idea of nurturing that Kandi speaks about and why it's so important to nurture ourselves in a holistic way. Stick around. We'll be right back. Are you a music therapist or part of the music therapy community? If so, we're excited to announce Aria. Aria is a mobile app that provides tools, resources, and community for today's modern music therapist. You can plan, implement, and share music therapy interventions with the community, keep track of your schedule and contacts, and learn from other members in our community section. Best of all, Aria is free. Visit arianow.com to get started today. The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com. Engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944. You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You are listening to and watching Connections. I'm your host, Bree Gordon. I am here tonight with Kandi Cohn. She is an assisted living and home health advisor with Yaffa Senior Services. She also speaks on this idea of empowering aging and being an empowered aging advocate, which is so passion driven for her, and also your kind of mission to teach others to nurture themselves. What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, I think we all need to really look at our life and try to have balance between the three major components, which are mind, body, and spirit. And we need to nurture these every day. We can't put something on hold and say, oh, I'll take care of that. I'll take care of my body when I get these other things in order. We need to, no matter how busy we are, we need to find the balance to do these things all the time. So I know for my mind, there's certainly many things, but one thing that's really been wonderful in the last couple of years, I've learned to meditate. And I had heard about it for years and started reading about the benefits and all of the evidence-based research that's been done. And then the right person, they say that when you're ready, the right teacher comes into your life.
Sure.
And sure enough, that happened for me.
That's wonderful.
And Jan Kinder is my meditation teacher, and I highly recommend her.
Yeah, you've talked to me about her before. Jan needs to come on the show.
Yes,
we need to
she
get
does.
connected. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What are some benefits, if you don't mind sharing, that you've observed in your own experience?
I meditate twice a day, 20 minutes a day each time, and I find that I'm much more centered. I don't get as frustrated as I did before. Not that I always was frustrated or anything, but I definitely feel calmer.
You're human. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I feel more calm on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I think I make decisions in a better way, and I sleep better. I'm doing a lot of different things, so I can't attribute everything to any one thing.
Right.
And that's the point I really want to make, because that's so important. People think there's going to be one quick fix, and there's not. You need to do a lot of different things. So I meditate, I exercise, I love to bike ride and play tennis, I walk if I can't do anything else, and I've been doing that for years. I always try to learn new things. I take new classes. I, a little over a year ago, had the pleasure of attending the Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within.
That, yeah.
And that was a fantastic weekend.
You walked on fire.
Yes, I walked on hot coals. I'm a fire walker.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And that changed my life as well. And I've surrounded myself with a lot of holistic people in the last couple years, and the energy that comes from these people is just incredible. And I think that's important too, is to surround yourself with people that give off positive energy and that vibrate at a similar frequency to you. You don't want to get pulled down by negative people. And if you have those people in your life, it doesn't mean you need to totally cut them out, but you need to set boundaries.
Yep. Sure.
And that's what I've gotten much better at.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I wanted to backtrack a little bit of how I was emphasizing on this idea of saying yes to life and to opportunities. But while saying yes to a lot of things is wonderful, sometimes you do need to say no.
Right.
There's value in that as well. And that's a lesson learned. I mean, that's not something that's easier said than done. But again, there is that balance in knowing what doors are open for you and what are, chapters to close,
Right.
and to say no, and that's okay. I think that for individuals like ourselves that kind of are drawn to these healing professions, these caring professions, it's hard to make that distinction of when to say no and when to step back and nurture ourselves. Here's what I love is like universe, faith, whatever that means to each individual person. It brings you, like you were saying about the right teacher finds you when you're ready. The universe just brings things to you when you're ready for it, right? And I've talked about this before in the show that I'll have guests come on, and I don't even really know who they are. Someone will refer me to someone, I've never met them, and they'll talk about meditation or they'll talk about nutrition. And I'm listening and I'm asking questions, and I'm like, this is a message for me. It's incredible, and I'm hoping that the audience was, someone, it's a message for them as well. And so it was kind of neat as thinking about, I can't wait to have my friend on a few weeks ago and hear what she's up to. And really, I haven't stopped thinking about our conversation since then. And here we go. Here's when the show goes out of the studio. I was sharing with you, we're starting like this cleanse on Monday. I've never done anything like this before. I truly was not exaggerating when I told her that I literally went to the McDonald's drive-thru before I met the nutritional holistic healer for a radio show, because that is my lifestyle. We're on the road. And, I'm not going to stop eating my Ben and Jerry's and stop having my glass of wine. Like we talked about, it's about balance. But you can start somewhere. And sometimes it just starts with a conversation. So, I would ask you the same question I asked Jess a couple weeks ago is, if someone is listening to this and they do want to make some changes, they do want to embrace this idea of nurturing themselves, of self-care, you eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? How would you recommend someone starts on this path?
That's a great question, because starting is the hardest part.
Sure.
So I would say that first of all, if they can find a buddy to do it with, that
good.
is so helpful.
Yeah.
Having someone to hold you accountable, and maybe even to go, not that you shouldn't be suffering. I don't want to use the word suffer, but feeling the challenges you're feeling.
Sure.
If you can have someone to share that with, that is really helpful. And as far as exercising, just get out and do something. Get off the chair, start walking, use the stairs instead of an elevator when you're in a building. Walk around the block in the morning, do it again later at night. Certainly after dinner, if you can take a little walk, that's very, very helpful. And start to learn about nutrition a little bit. Start to understand what you're putting into your body.
Yeah.
And don't go totally crazy. Like you said, you don't have to totally cut out. And I too, I enjoy ice cream and a glass of wine. But I try to eat healthy for the most part.
Right,
and so I'd say start eating more vegetables, start eating more, read about it, learn and understand what you're lacking, and just start adding some of those things to your diet. And then start cutting down on some of the things that probably are not so great for you. Maybe cut down on the sugar. Don't cut it out completely, but cut down on it.
And I imagine as you do start to, cut down on things that you once relied on. Like I honestly am a big believer in that food can be comfort. I know myself that I'll turn to food when I'm bored or when I'm whatever. It's also a social thing when you're happy too. It's an emotional thing. It is. And so, even looking at things like, well, why am I looking to this food for this reason, and finding, well, maybe I'm bored. Maybe I need to go to the gym or call a friend or whatever that is, that the reliance on it changes. Your relationship with the food or the sugar or the whatever it is would change when you kind of look at the big picture. And what am I really, now we're getting really deep, but what am I really feeling here? Well, I'm feeling lonely, or I'm feeling bored, or I'm feeling, lack of energy. What's another thing that I can do to feed myself socially or my spirit? So I imagine the relationship would change, I guess, is my point with that.
And that what you said is really important. And Tony Robbins emphasized this. When you want to change a behavior, you need to replace it with a different behavior.
Okay.
So
look at that, me and Tony Robbins.
Yeah. Instead of binge eating, go outside, take a walk, get some of that stress so you're exercising, which is good for you, and you're not eating, and you're going to feel better by the end of it.
And maybe you call a friend and do it with you.
Yes.
It is hard to start these journeys on your own sometimes. I find a lot of comfort in, doing like a little, squat and crunch fitness challenge thing right now, and it's because it's online, and every day I kind of check in with the other girls that are doing it, and how did it feel today, and these people are, and now everybody's, oh man, why do I keep saying things live? Now I'm accountable for all this stuff, but that's good, because I know I'm not just doing that for me. I'm glad I'm doing it for me, but I want to support other people and see how they're doing, and I love their support back at me, so it's good to do these things in a group. I like that. I think that you have an interesting perspective on this next question, having been through, obviously, caring for aging parents, caring for children, and being in this industry. What are your thoughts on the direction that you see healthcare heading in?
I think that a lot of people are starting to embrace some holistic alternative therapies, and I love seeing that. And I think that's going to continue to grow. Hopefully insurance will start to cover some of these things. We all know our healthcare system is in dire trouble, and a lot of changes need to take place.
Yeah.
But I know for me, I've really opened myself to a lot of holistic alternative therapies, and it's been incredible. I met an energy healer who really had a major influence on my life, and I now have all these wellness tools and devices in my own home. And it's a part of my routine, and I love it. I have this cobblestone mat that I walk on every day, and that's foot chi. That's you're doing hitting the pressure points on your feet. And anyone who knows anything about reflexology knows that our organs have a spot. There's a spot on our feet for every organ in the body, and it's enhancing the lymphatic system and doing so many different things by using that. So I do that every morning. I meditate. I have an inversion table that I meditate on my inversion table, and so my routine in the morning I sleep on a device called the Beamer. It's
And you represent this.
I do,
product
yes.
as well,
I
right?
actually represent the Beamer. It's the bioelectromagnetic energy therapy mat, and it goes right on the bed under my fitted sheet. So I sleep on that, and then when I wake up, I program it for an 8-minute program that's a higher stimulation than what I'm sleeping on. And the Beamer helps your microcirculation, which is really the foundation of how your whole body works. So it's bringing more oxygen to your cells, and it's releasing and discharging toxins, eliminating toxins from your body. And this is so, so important. So in doing this, it's helping your body function better. It gives you more energy. It helps you sleep better. It helps you to absorb nutrients better. If you're taking any medications, you'll actually absorb them better.
Oh, wow.
It helps when you have pain. It helps you to recover from working out. So I'm a big bike rider, and I'm always sore, and using the Beamer has helped me with that. And so I use the Beamer for 8 minutes before I actually get out of bed. Then I do get up and wash up and all. Then I meditate on my inversion table for anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes. And
Which you don't need it's
you don't need the inversion table.
That, right?
I just happen to have one.
Yeah.
Because
Party
of
at Kandi's house with the inversion
because
table.
of this energy healer. Yeah, so I'm going to have wellness parties coming soon.
Yeah.
No, I really am.
Oh,
I'm serious.
Awesome.
So I'm going.
I was like, I just invited everyone. To
Yeah.
it.
So you're all invited. I'm going to have an event on June 7th. It's going to be an informational session for the
awesome.
Beamer.
Okay, very
And
cool.
if anyone wants to find out more about it and possibly attend, it's going to be in Boca. And they can contact me. You're going to tell them how to do that at the end, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, but we are going to talk about how you can reach Kandi, find out about all these things. We're not even done talking about all the cool things that she's doing. But if you have any specific questions, please reach out to us on Facebook, facebook.com/connections by Aria, or you can call into the show, 888-565-1470. We'll be right back. Are you a music therapist or part of the music therapy community? If so, we're excited to announce Aria. Aria is a mobile app that provides tools, resources, and community for today's modern music therapist. You can plan, implement, and share music therapy interventions with the community, keep track of your schedule and contacts, and learn from other members in our community section. Best of all, Aria is free. Visit arianow.com to get started today. The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com. Engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944. You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You are listening to and watching Connections. I'm your host, Bree Gordon, and I am here with the fabulous Kandi Cohn. She is an assisted living and home health advisor with Yaffa Senior Services and an empowered aging advocate. I love that. I just want to stop in the word empowered, because I think no matter where you are on your health wellness journey or on the aging spectrum, this idea of at whatever level you're at, you can be empowered to, we talked about control and choice making, empowered to take initiative in nurturing and loving yourself and self-care and making changes to your diet. It can be grand. I mean, it sounds like you've made grand decisions for your life as you're approaching this empowered aging, but it can start simple and small too, as you mentioned. So you work with a lot of individuals in several different situations. You work specifically through your business through Yaffa Senior Services. So I wonder if you'd speak a little bit about that.
Sure. So I started Yaffa Senior Services a few years ago, and I had to help find senior living for my own parents. And I was working with a senior placement advisor, and then I ended up getting into the business myself. So I do everything very hands-on. I meet with the people in person. I do an assessment. I find out a lot about them and their finances and what they like and what they need help with, which activities of daily living. And then I schedule tours and I go with them. I drive them if they want me to. Awesome. And so I'm kind of like a realtor who specializes in senior living.
Very cool. How can people learn more about that? Do you have a website or a Facebook page that people can check that out?
I do. I have both. So my website is www.yaffa, Y-A-F-F-A, seniorservices.com. And my Facebook page is Yaffa Senior Services. And you can email me at Kandi@YaffaSeniorServices.com.
And can I ask what Yaffa means?
Yes, Yaffa is my Hebrew name.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And it means beautiful.
Oh, wonderful.
And I've always loved it and wanted to use it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that. Okay, so Yaffa, that's one of your many paths here, which is so cool, which kind of gets you in front of it. Sounds like this community, obviously also doing the volunteer work through the ESRN.
Yes.
And getting to speak on the things that you're passionate about. And you mentioned the Beamer. What are some of the other products that you encourage people to try out or learn more about?
I also encourage people to start looking into telehealth. There are many different things, programs and applications coming onto the scene that can help empower people. So there's an app called Dr. Pocket that I also am marketing, but I highly advocate for people to utilize it. It's a free app, and you just go in the App Store, look for Dr. Pocket, not abbreviated, the full word doctor. You download the app, and then say you're traveling and you need to talk to a doctor because you have a weird rash. You don't necessarily want to go to an emergency room. You just want a doctor to tell you.
Don't laugh. You know you've been there.
You just want a doctor to tell you what it might be, or or you want to know if you might have food poisoning or something. Right. Or you want a second opinion. You're home, but you want a second opinion. Well, Dr. Pocket has actually enlisted many Ivy League trained doctors. So you could actually get a second opinion, get a consult. It's a 20-minute consult with a doctor who might be Ivy League trained. You choose the doctor you want. So you'll see profiles on the doctors, and you choose the doctor that you want to use. So there's many specialists. There are some internists, but there's a lot of pediatricians, dermatologists, all kinds of specialists. So Dr. Pocket, it's an app, you download it, and then there are some other devices and things coming out there where you can keep track of, what your blood pressure is throughout the day, all kinds of things. If you are on a diet, monitor your body functions. And so these are ways we can empower ourselves where we don't have to run to the doctor to find out what's happening with our body all the time.
For sure. And an opportunity for intergenerational connection, too, because we talked about technology and aging a few months ago on the show. And I know that I've seen in my family and also some of the clients that I work with that it's like the biggest generation gap we have. My generation and your generation, mine especially, I mean, boy, that even in the time between high school, college to being an adult, there were so many changes with how we relied on technology. But I juxtapose that with the fact that my grandma's not comfortable turning on a computer or typing an email. And she's working every day, and she's independent, and she's fully mobile, and that's just there's a block there because it's not what she's comfortable with. So some of these technological advances that are coming out, they can be very helpful, but there's a block in the uncomfortableness of not really knowing what you're doing. So an opportunity for, children or grandchildren to kind of sit down and help share, I think, their expertise in that area. We talk a lot about what we learn from our senior clients and our parents and our grandparents, but I think that's an opportunity for children and grandchildren to really sit down and connect with the elders in their lives and lessen that fear around technology, because I think there's a lot of benefits to it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Not only, telemedicine like you're mentioning, but also for communication. I mean, I've spoken to so many people who, through Skype and through Facebook, really are able to keep in touch with family members all over the world.
Yeah, a lot of older people are comfortable with Skype. It's wonderful.
I have one client, I had to ask him, we're playing drums today. Can you put your cell phone down for a moment? I was like, I totally love that you're on your iPhone right now.
That's
it's
funny.
I know, it's pretty cool. So it's cool. I am starting to see a little bit more of that comfortability with technology, which is neat. All right, so we talked Yaffa Senior Services, some of these other products or speaking engagements. Should people contact you through Yaffa, or are there other ways to reach you?
Yeah, they can contact me through Yaffa Senior Services.
Okay.
If anyone wants to call me, it's 772-486-4914. And again, my email is Kandi@YaffaSeniorServices.com. I love to speak in communities. I really want to educate people, to empower them so they know the choices, they know the things that are out there. And I'm happy to talk to people if they have questions. It doesn't cost anything for people to work with me. When I place someone, I take them around to the senior living facilities. I get paid a commission by the facilities, and I work with all the facilities, so I'm not choosing based on a commission, but it's free. So please feel free to call me. I want to be a resource. I want to help.
That's great. And when you get called to speak, who's usually your audience that you're speaking with?
I oftentimes a 55 plus community, maybe a women's group or a synagogue, a church.
Great. So again, if someone is interested in asking you to speak to their group, that's another great way to connect with the community. Just because we have a couple minutes left here, I'd love to hear more about, you were talking about and you posted on social media, which I love how you keep up to date with all the cool things that you're doing, which is, what made me want to reach back out and say, something cool is going on with her. Your smile's a little brighter, your skin is glowing. Really, you look fabulous. I can tell you're happy. You love what you're doing. Makes such a difference. And I just wanted to sit down and talk to you about all these exciting opportunities. And you mentioned this Transcendent Souls.
Oh, I go to a luncheon, wonderful women's group.
I want to hear about this.
Yeah, Cassie Eubanks runs this wonderful women's group called Transcended Souls.
Cool.
And I got to tell my story and talked about becoming empowered and all the things I'm doing, the meditation, the exercise, eating organic, Tony Robbins, all the energy healer and people in my life. So that was that's what got me started thinking about, I really want to be on a mission to help people to have an empowered aging process, to empower people. And so it really all kind of formulated in my mind within the last few months. And it was partially inspired by Cassie and Transcended Souls.
That sounds like a really cool group. I'm going to have to check that out. What is some feedback you've gotten back from people that you've worked with and that they've, benefits they've observed in their lives?
Well, certainly for the children that have been trying to help their parents, they tell me that I've just saved them a lot of grief and helped with the process. I recently was able to convince someone's mother-in-law who had been very stubborn about moving, that, I was able to convince her that it's a lovely place, that there are lovely places out there. People sometimes have this preconceived notion because in the past, they had nursing homes.
Sure.
That's all. There were no
was the only
assisted
option.
living communities.
Right.
And now I was able to explain to her, and so this guy was so relieved and so grateful. So I think just easing the pain and smoothing the process is really what I do.
And there's so much value in that personal touch and that human connection. Someone might be stuck in that place where they assume they know what's out there, not realizing how times have changed, and it takes, someone to kind of, make that connection and really calm their nerves for them to be open to other possibilities. So that's great that you're able to be a comfort for them. We have 1 minute left. If you wouldn't mind just giving your email, Facebook, and phone number one more time.
Okay. Email is Kandi@YaffaSeniorServices.com, and Facebook is Yaffa Senior Services, and again, that's YAFFA SeniorServices.com for the website. My phone number is 772-486-4914. 888-848-4914. And I help people all over Southeast Florida, from Miami all the way up to Port St. Lucie.
Fabulous. If you have any requests or questions of Kandi, you know how to reach her. Thank you so much for being on today. Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you.
And to everyone watching and listening, especially, again, my very own special mother and grandmother, happy Mother's Day. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.